some lawyers and the miscellaneous staff to handle the cases fairly and expeditiously, and to let the people in the county feel that their case has been fairly heard. We've had entirely too many cases where I think one population, especially the black population, feels that maybe their case wasn't fairly heard if the person who shot them was a police officer. So I'm going to try to address these things.
I want to ask you about that. When we talked right after you were elected, you had said you ran because not enough police officers were being prosecuted for shooting and killing black men. We've had 2 fatal law enforcement involved shootings in the month of December. How do you feel you plan on proceeding with those cases, and do you still stand behind those comments?
I stand behind the comments, and I happen to believe that we need to get the message out. I mean, 95% or more of the police officers go through a career and never shoot anyone. We need to get the message out that if you do succumb to the temptation to shoot, then we will end up penalizing you, maybe even sending you to prison, because obviously the average police officer does not want to end up going to prison, where they will be spending time with folks they may have put in prison themselves. So I am very hopeful that we can get people to think twice before they pull out a gun. And it's only recently with the different kinds of pictures taken by cell phones and other things that the officers realize that what they do is going to result in a crime or a criminal conviction. And that's something we have that may cut down on some of the shootings.
I have to ask you about that choice of words, temptation. Do you think officers are choosing to shoot, or do you think they're doing it to protect their own lives?
I think that they believe they're doing it to protect their own lives, but it is still a choice. The most recent shooting that's now being handled by BCI, the man holds up a cell phone, and one hand isn't seen, but the officer goes forward and shoots him, and I think it may have been much more than once or twice. So I think it is important that people realize that don't just jump to pulling off a round or two, even if you think there might be some danger. So that case is being handled by the Attorney General's office. That's the City of Columbus has a contract with the Attorney General's office to investigate that, and we'll see how it all comes out. But that case in particular, everybody who watches the video tries to figure out what was the woman thinking when she pulled out a gun, and that woman, actually the man, thinking when she pulled out the gun and shot repeatedly.
Do you plan on, obviously, with